Right, welcome to our special meeting of the Council, which I've asked to be convened to consider the recent proposal to award the Honorary Freedom of the City of Derby to Mr. Steve Kirk. We will shortly move on with the business on the agenda, but before I do, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for the support I've received as the Mayor over the preceding municipal year. I look forward to the annual general meeting, where there will be an opportunity to celebrate and reflect on the last 12 months. So item 1. Before we begin, are there any apologies? Councillor Evans.
Mr Mayor, apologies from Councillor Falk and Councillor Prosser.
Thank you. Councillor Ponza. Have you got all those here?
Councillor Hudson and Councillor Lonsdale.
Okay, thank you. Any more? Thank you. Councillor Pearce.
Councillor Hassel, Councillor Alison Holmes, Councillor Matthew Holmes, Councillor Morgan McGeehan, Councillor Patterson, Councillor Mulhall, Councillor Truella and Councillor Pandey.
Might have been easy if you just told us who was here.
I don't know those, Mr Mayor. So.
Right, okay. Item 2 is the declarations of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest? No, thank you very much. Item 3. We will now consider the report of the Deputy Chief Executive, which details the arrangements for the award of Honorary Freedom of the City. This is an honour that can be bestowed by the local authority to people of distinction who have rendered eminent services to their local area. Council has previously indicated the intention to award the Honorary Freedom of Derby to local publican and charitable fundraiser Mr. Steve Kirk. The Local Government Act of 1972 requires that a special meeting is held for these awards to be conferred. Once moved, we will debate the motion contained within the report, and the normal rules of debate will apply. The report contains biographical information about Mr. Kirk, as well as a minute extract from the meeting of the Council where the proposal was initially discussed. Once a motion to award Freedom of the City has been moved and seconded, a 2/3 majority of councillors is required for the motion to be carried. Please note that as required by legislation, the number required to reach a 2/3 majority will be determined by the number of voting councillors. Any abstentions will not be counted. When voting, please raise your hands clearly to allow the monitoring officer and her colleagues the opportunity to count the votes. I will now invite Councillor Phil Ingle to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to propose Steve Kirk to be given the Honorary Freedom of the City. I first met Steve a number of years ago to do with his fundraising for the Poppy Appeal, and I thought this is the guy I need to get to know a bit better because he's obviously doing something quite special. And this year, it worked out that over the last so many years, he's raised over £120,000 for the Poppy Appeal, which is more than any other publican in the whole of the United Kingdom, which is a massive achievement. So I approached Steve and said to him, look, I'm thinking of proposing you for Freedom of the City. And he laughed. And he said, give it to people like me. I went, well, that's what they should be doing. So I took the opportunity to speak to all the other leaders who all knew Steve and who all agreed. Councillor Schenker didn't know Steve, and Councillor Schenker then contacted Steve and took him out for lunch, I believe. They got on like a house on fire, and he came back to me and said, yes, our group will support that. So when I said to Steve, look, this is what I'm prepared to do, I've got support for it, he again laughed. And I said, OK, we've got to come into the Council House now and meet Alex and do your dissertation. And he came in and he was like, Phil, they're never going to give it me. I went, Steve, let's give it a go anyway. So we went and did his dissertation with Alex. And as he was listing through everything he'd done, I was sat there in awe. And then Alex went, you really deserve this, don't you? And I think that's when he started to believe. So here we are now. This man raised an enormous amount for charity, the most of any publican in the United Kingdom. He deserves this award, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Councillor.
Thank you. And thank you, Councillor Ingle. And indeed, Councillor Ingle's correct. I hadn't met Steve Kirk until the initial proposal to grant Steve the freedom of the city was mooted. And I thought it was important, if we are going to debate that and make such an honour, that I do reach out and meet Steve. We indeed did meet over a drink and a bite to eat. And what a great bloke and an absolutely deserving bloke Steve is. You could just tell from that discussion we had, as well as reading up on the facts of the amount of money Steve has raised and the way he looks after his customers, his regulars, his punters at the Neptune. He does it with a passion, and he's done it with a huge commitment over so many years. And it's absolutely right. Ordinary folk, ordinary people like Steve are also recognised in this way, in this chamber and by our city for the extraordinary work he has done over a consistent period of time. Our group has no hesitation in supporting this motion today and granting Steve the freedom of the city.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other speakers? Okay, I will then take that to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Okay. Anybody against? Well, that is passed, and I congratulate Mr. Kirk. This honour is richly deserved and a testament to many years of hard work and sacrifice. The Mayor's office will be in contact with him soon to arrange a date for a civic reception where the customary scroll awarding honorary freedom of Derby will be presented to you. That concludes our special meeting this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. It also concludes the business of this council for the 2022-23 municipal year. I look forward to seeing you at the annual general meeting on Wednesday, the 22nd of May.